Right now at 5, a judge in Jasper County sentences an Oklahoma man for his role in a 2024 murder.
And it's a bit mild out there, a bit foggy, a bit muggy, and we do have additional pop-up storm chances today. We'll look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, some area schools may find themselves scrambling for funding after a federal grant is withheld.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Porter. It's now Tuesday, July the 15th, and today feels more like Monday than yesterday did. I don't know. I haven't had coffee yet. Maybe that's part of it, but man, it's just tough to get started this morning.
A little bit, but I think it's because you did the Chris show yesterday. You did a great job.
Well, I don't know about that, but it does make the morning go by a lot faster because there's no pauses. You're doing the news, and when I'm not on, I'm like, boy, what do I do now? Change a light bulb, perhaps? But maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just tired. I don't know. Maybe. But we're gonna get through this day. It's Tuesday. We're already beyond Monday, so that's the important thing.
That's the win. That's the win for the day.
Big win right now. As it is Tuesday. It's gonna be a little warmer. It's a little muggy out there already this morning, and we got more rain chances. Let's start with that look outside, though, downtown Pittsburgh, and there it is. And it looks pretty good so far. Yeah, most of these, they look pretty good. As long as we don't have storms in the morning, you can't really see the clouds too well on these, so they're always going to look pretty good. Whether or not it's really good out there is sometimes up for debate. It is fairly muggy. Like, the temperature's not bad, but the air is pretty thick. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline also looking good this morning. Again, some patchy fog, and I just feel like this is the latest into the year we've ever talked about fog, or at least into summertime. Usually it's a spring and fall thing, but we've got it again. The Grand Lake area gets reduced visibilities. Yates Center, Iola, Anderson Grove, Cassville, Mount Vernon, around Stockton. Not as widespread as what we saw yesterday, but still, you want to slow down. Low beams, not your high beams, and just watch out for rapidly changing visibilities in some locations. Today, much like yesterday, from about 11 to 7, we'll have an opportunity for these isolated pop-up storms out there. Most of what we did see yesterday did end up lining up with future tracks expectations of being along and south of I-44. I know we got a couple of stray showers outside of that zone, and that's going to be the case again for us today. Those little isolated storms, but not expecting anything too significant. Sitting at 73 in Joplin, 72 in Pittsburgh, and temperatures across the region. We are, for the most part, all of us, low to mid 70s. Monette, one of the cooler spots there, at 70. And like I said, it's just really muggy outside. The air's pretty thick this morning. Partly cloudy through the morning, upper 70s by 9, low 80s by noon. We'll have those isolated storm chances, and we're heading for highs right about 90 degrees today with a southwest breeze around 5 to 10. Heat index values today start getting a little closer to 100. Tomorrow they could be a little greater as our temperatures continue to climb. We do have more rain chances, and some of them might actually bring some... Oh, no. There's a wasp in the studio. I'm going to take care of that. But some of these storm chances might bring actual rain into the area. We'll go over all of that with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. An Oklahoma man learns his fate in connection with a March 2024 homicide in Jasper County. Back in May, Scott Burleson pled guilty to murder in the second degree for his involvement in the murder of a Carl Junction man. Yesterday, a judge sentenced Burleson to life in prison for his role. As part of the deal in May, authorities dropped additional charges against Burleson, including robbery and armed criminal action. The case stems from an incident last March when Jasper County authorities responded to the report of an assault in the area of 7th Street and State Line Avenue. Responders took the victim, Seth Langford of Carl Junction, to a local hospital with severe injuries from an apparent stabbing. Langford later died from his injuries. An investigation found Burleson and Paul Phillips as the primary suspects. Phillips also pled guilty to his role in the 2024 murder. As part of the deal, charges were amended to just a charge of unlawful possession of a firearm. He was originally charged with multiple felonies, including first-degree robbery and armed criminal action. Our community stories are often uncovered thanks to you, our viewers. We invite you to share your news tips with us. Scan the QR code and you'll be taken to a form where you can submit a tip quickly and easily. Your voice helps keep our community informed and connected. Thank you for being part of the story. Some local schools are scrambling to rework their budgets after a $6 billion federal grant is withheld.
It was a sad day.
Ann Lee is the assistant superintendent of Pittsburgh High School. She remembers the day she received a letter stating her school district would no longer receive a vital funding she was promised days earlier. She says the money is vital for students and teachers.
It would be very a monumental task and could at times be overwhelming because of the significant number of needs that the kids have.
A significant number of needs is what this district and several others are going to have if these frozen funds aren't released. Ray Streeter from Northeast School District says he already has plans just in case things don't change.
We'll have to take money from other places in our budget to replace those funds. It's not optimal. We obviously don't want to do that.
Now, Streeter says he can handle the load this time around. However, in Pittsburgh, Lee says these funds will hurt everything from teaching English, retaining teachers, after-school support, and more.
Talking about a significant number of kids that are going to be impacted, along with the teachers who will be in the classroom who need the additional support to help reach them.
We're a high needs district. We have a pretty high poverty rate. And I know that those funds do come in handy.
Both Street and Lee say they do not understand why this is happening or when it will end.
We're working through and coming up with a plan if they are no longer frozen but not available for us to use.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Pittsburgh schools say if this issue doesn't get resolved, they're set to lose nearly $550,000. As school officials scramble to adjust their budgets to fall in line with President Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, the SNAP program may suffer deep cuts. SNAP, or the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, provides food benefits to low-income families to supplement their grocery budget so they can afford nutritious food. Experts say cuts to SNAP may have long-lasting impacts on children specifically.
SNAP benefits really, in particular, help children to get the healthy food that they need to succeed in school. And we have to remember that if we're cutting SNAP benefits now and children aren't getting what they need to perform at their best in school, this is going to have lifelong implications for those kids and how much income they're going to be able to make as future workers in the United States.
SNAP also provides support to elderly households, to low-income working households, and to other low-income households that include the unemployed or disabled, and to households transitioning from welfare to work. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Stephen Knight turned his own recovery journey into a lifeline for others, and it's now being recognized around the world. Plus, tariffs, tomatoes, and talk of war. President Trump targets imports and rallies support for Ukraine. And we're tracking light showers for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, President Trump has issued an ultimatum to Russia. Reach a peace deal with Ukraine or else its trading partners could face stiff new tariffs. It comes as the Trump administration has also announced new tariffs that could raise the price of tomatoes at the grocery store. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
Today, President Trump heads to Pittsburgh to focus on domestic energy and tech development, while his administration ratchets up his tariff policy. Monday, the Commerce Department announced a 17% tariff on most imported tomatoes from Mexico after backing out of a 2019 anti-dumping duty agreement. Mexico's government called it unfair. The U.S. currently gets 70% of its tomatoes from Mexico, according to the Florida Tomato Exchange.
I think the biggest effect, which is probably 95% of it, would be, your grocery stores.
California grower Bill Loratelli says the move could lead to price jumps in the produce aisle, but he also hopes it boosts production at home.
We should be trying to promote people like us.
President Trump is also threatening to slap a 100% tariff on countries that buy Russian oil and gas if the Kremlin does not reach a peace deal with Ukraine within 50 days. The president on Russian President Vladimir Putin to the BBC.
I'm not done with him, but I'm disappointed in him.
Do you trust him?
I trust almost nobody.
While hosting NATO's Secretary General Monday, the president touted a plan to sell weapons, including Patriot missiles, to NATO for Ukraine.
We're going to supply weapons to NATO. They're going to deliver the weapons, and they're going to pay for 100% of the weapons.
Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky expressed gratitude to the president and said his country is ready to work to achieve peace. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Still to come, a 1-year-old lad trained to sniff out dangerous mold inside homes. How his new job is helping keep families safe and giving him a second chance at life. Plus, we're tracking light showers for today. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Stephen Knight provides foster homes for dogs while their owners seek addiction treatment. Knight was named CNN's Hero of the Year in 2024, and his work continues to inspire awareness and support for addicts seeking recovery and their pets who need care while their owners heal.
And the 2024 CNN Hero of the Year is Stephen Knight.
When Anderson and Laura announced it, I got emotional.
To be able to help others and have a purpose now, I'm so overwhelmed.
I feel like I kind of this crown like a Miss America. We'll call it Mr. America or Mr. Universe because it's been a global thing. I've had opportunities to talk about Dogs Matter from Dubai to Australia. We had a 150% increase of applications. We were able to bring on 2 more recovery coaches. It introduced us to the Elevate Prize Foundation. We became part of their family, changing the world with these leaders.
Thank you for talking about that.
It's perfect timing. We're looking to scale up.
It's no secret I was rooting for you.
Dr. Kwan from the year before me, our missions are so complementary. We're in the beginning stages of planning a Project Street vet in Dallas and Dogs Matter in LA. Hi guys. How cute are you? The other thing is more recognition. We got treatment centers in Texas said, hey, we'll take dogs.
Bye, Jack.
A lot of those dogs, all they need is a second chance, just like I was given. One of my favorite programs that we have now is called the Bark Storm, where these kids that are serving time have an opportunity to work with one of our dogs. And it's really been life-changing for some of the kids.
It motivated me to be better.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Dogs Matter, we're in our 10th year. We've saved thousands and thousands of lives. It's been incredible.
You're celebrating your silver.
It's a night and day difference.
This is a picture of sobriety.
Very few people in this world have inspired me the way that Stephen did.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. To be able to know that this little program that I did in my backyard 10 years ago is now being considered worldwide, and people are going, I need this, we need this. That's the best thing ever. It's just like, what a privilege and an honor.
How incredible to see a program like that be able to grow and thrive. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got, again, some patchy fog out there. Not quite as dense as what we saw yesterday. It's going to be a hot and muggy day with more pop-up storm chances. The latest when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:20 now on this Tuesday morning. We're going to start again with the fog tracker, where we've got some patchy, dense fog around the Grand Lake area, stretching into McDonald County, back toward eastern Berry County. Some reduced visibility, Stockton, Nevada, Iola as well, Yates Center. So again, not as widespread and not as dense as what we saw yesterday, but still plenty of patchy fog. And you also want to watch out for the potential for those rapidly changing visibilities as we head through the morning. And of course, eventually the fog will burn off, just like it did yesterday. We'll have partly cloudy skies again today, maybe even some moments of mostly cloudy skies here and there. And between 11 and 7, we'll have another opportunity for some isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms across the area. And they'll really be, they could be anywhere. Better chances, at least in the first portion of the afternoon, looking to be on the Missouri side. But again, they can be anywhere out there as we head into our Wednesday. Now, Tuesday. As we head into Wednesday, though, we have another round of potential potential pop-up storms, and we're also going to see those southwest winds pick up a bit, start gusting upwards of 20. And then late Wednesday into early Thursday, we'll have some actual thunderstorm activity out there. And so by 5 o'clock Thursday, you can see where we are, Fort Scott back toward Gates Center along 54. We get these thunderstorm chances in here. Some of those storms could be strong, potentially low-grade severe, which we'll show you in just a moment. By noon, we're left with a few lingering scattered showers, and then we get a bit of a pause, and then in the evening, we'll get additional scattered showers and thunderstorms. They'll be brief, but they will be a possibility, especially for those that get to a point where those storms start to diminish. It's going to leave the area ahead muggy, and it's going to leave that air mass untapped. That's why we get some pop-up storms later in the day on Thursday before we get a break in the rain on Friday. Why is this not working? It was working a second ago. Okay. It's really not working. Okay, well, we'll go over to the thing and move it manually, but I'll tell you for the rest of this morning that, oh yeah, now it goes. Are you serious? Okay, I guess I need new batteries because I got closer to the remote. Sorry about that. Okay, so tomorrow night, into early Thursday, we have a level 1 out of 5 risk for our northern counties. You saw those storms on Future Track, and again, some of them could be strong, low-grade severe. And at this point, just looking at wind, maybe some hail is the primary concern with those. Otherwise, just more pop-up storms out there. Now it's working. And we'll have the fog continuing through about 8 o'clock or so, like we saw yesterday. Mid-70s by 8, low 80s by 11 o'clock this morning. A few of those pop-up storms similar to yesterday, starting around 11. We'll continue with them out there through the afternoon. Our highs right about 90, and heat index values today approaching 100 degrees, and we'll be back into the upper 70s, still near 80 by 10. Skies will actually clear a bit overnight. We'll be back into the low 70s eventually. Again, breezy tomorrow, starting with pop-up storms. Then we'll have those thunderstorm chances, the more scattered storms, late Wednesday into Thursday. Tomorrow, though, we're in the low to mid 90s. Heat index values could be 100, maybe upwards of 105 tomorrow, so make sure you're taking precautions out there. Staying hot, more pop-up storm chances into Sunday and next Thursday, and look at those temperatures continuing to climb in the low to mid 90s. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. People taking popular weight loss drugs still need to exercise and manage their diet. Research published in JAMA shows doctors need to discuss fitness plans with people using GLP-1 drugs, especially because the drugs cause people to lose lean muscle as well as fat. Another reason to continue diet and exercise is that many people regain 7 to 12% of the weight they lost after discontinuing the drugs. Tens of millions of people worldwide don't have access to life-saving surgery. A study by the University of Birmingham says at least 160 million patients each year are unable to get surgery, especially in low and middle-income countries. And recent cuts to global health funding threaten to make the problem even worse. The study's authors say access to safe, affordable surgery shouldn't be seen as a luxury. Women who work night shift jobs have a higher risk of irregular periods, hormone imbalances, and can even experience negative impacts on their fertility. A study on mice presented by the Endocrine Society says the light exposure that comes from working the night shift disrupts the body's internal timing. The study also noted, however, that the negative effects of night shift work don't affect everyone. Home inspectors can often detect mold that is visible. What if it's not? CBS's Christian Benavidez introduces us to a dog who's sniffing out potentially harmful mold that you may not be able to see.
At this home in Jupiter, Florida, Indy, a 1-year-old Labrador retriever, is on the hunt, searching for something that's not visible but can make people very sick.
He was trained to detect 16 different kinds of mold. He will go through the house, and when he smells it, he's going to sit down. I'm going to ask him to show me, and he's going to point his nose. Show me.
Zanita Cuzel is Indy's owner and founder of Mold Hunt, a company using dogs to detect potentially harmful mold. Cuzel started the company after she developed pneumonia from hidden mold at a home she purchased, despite getting the necessary inspections.
It's not just my case. There are so many cases like this.
Melissa Naman owns this home and rents it out as an Airbnb. She hired Mold Hunt to look over her property to keep guests safe.
There was nothing detected when I had a home inspection when I purchased the property.
So we're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Indy got right to work, identifying some areas of concern that Naman plans to address, but says didn't come up in the original home inspection. That's something she often sees as a realtor.
I have clients that have purchased a home and found mold after the fact.
Mold can be dangerous, even deadly. Symptoms include sneezing, coughing, congestion, and eye irritation, though people can have more severe reactions the longer it goes untreated. Over the years, dogs have been trained to detect everything from drugs to explosives, even COVID-19. Canine accuracy can range from 75 to 90%. This job gave Indy a second chance at life.
Indy was originally returned to his breeders because his first owner said he was too high energy, but in this job, he's found a purpose.
Indy underwent an intense
Water damage is the cause for most mold problems. The EPA recommends drying water damaged areas within 24 to 48 hours to prevent mold growth. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, fresh produce, local markets, and a helping hand for seniors. How a Kansas program is bringing healthy options to the table.
And we've got a nice day, well, not a nice day. We have a hot and muggy day ahead of us. Not a bad start, some patchy fog. Well, look at your forecast coming up.
Flashbangs, guns, SWAT. Those are some of the things that are being taught in the junior deputy camp here at Jasper County Sheriff's Department. I'll have that story for you coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It is June the 15th, and I am July the 15th. I'm also no longer convinced it's not Monday. We have a wasp in the studio. This thing is acting all funky on me. It stopped working earlier.
We're just having all sorts of problems.
It is a weird morning.
But we're going to make it a good day.
We're going to make it a great, and the coffee's brewing now, so that should help out a lot. But yeah, it should be an interesting day here at KOAM, and hopefully an interesting day for you in a good way, though, at home. And if you're heading out, it is quite muggy this morning. The temperature is not too bad, but boy, it is humid out there. And we have another round of pop-up storms possible, but we are going to start our Tuesday, of course, with our look outside in downtown Pittsburgh. And things are looking fairly good so far. Got some clouds. We're having a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies as we get our day started. And then we'll have those pop-up storm chances by the afternoon. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking excellent as well. Fog tracker, though, starting to see some denser fog in parts of northern Elk County. We also have patchy dense fog around the Grand Lake area, so reduced visibilities. Grove down to 2.5 miles about, stretching into McDonald County, eastern Barry, around Stockton, Iola, Yates Center as well. So not nearly as widespread as I mentioned as yesterday, and not as dense across the region as yesterday, but still, you want to slow down. Low beams, not your high beams, and of course, give yourself time to get where you're going. Now, as we roll into the afternoon, in fact, even by late morning, the expectation is roughly between 11 and 7 again. We'll have an opportunity for some pop-up storms. Future Track thinks at first better chances may be on the Missouri side, but then we'll have more chances as we head into the late afternoon, early evening off to the west as well. So not expect anything severe with these storms, but still, when thunder roars, head indoors. We're at 73 in Joplin, 71 in Pittsburgh right now, and it is, again, fairly mild for us this morning. Average low is about 70. Monette, you're the only one right there. The rest of us, low, getting close to mid-70s. I mean, look at Bentonville, Independence, Wawata, all three, at 74 this morning. Make the upper 70s near 80 by 9. Then we'll have those isolated storm chances into the afternoon and evening. Highs today about 90. And with it being so muggy this morning, it's going to be even muggier later today. Heat index values today could easily approach 100 degrees. So if you are outdoors, you don't want to just keep an eye for storms. You also want to keep an eye on yourself. Make sure you're staying hydrated out there as well. And we'll have southwest winds at about 5 to 10. We have some more meaningful rainfall chances over the next couple of days. And then temperatures are really going to start to climb, and it's really going to feel like July soon. We'll have a full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. A Kansas program aimed at putting food on the tables for seniors began yesterday. The program provides eligible seniors with coupons to purchase fresh produce and honey at participating farmers markets across the state. People over the age of 60 who meet income requirements can get 10 $5 vouchers. Seniors in Cherokee County were able to pick up their vouchers at Crossroads Christian Church in Baxter Springs yesterday.
They can be utilized at any farmer's market within Kansas as long as those vendors accept those vouchers. They can utilize them there. It can be used for things such as fresh produce, fresh herbs, and honey.
Well, guns, SWAT, and jail, those are the topics that will be talked about at the Jasper County Sheriff Junior Deputy Camp. Reporter Ty Parks brings us the story.
I wanted to see what different jobs had to offer, what other jobs had to offer.
Junior Deputy Jacob Hoffman wants to know what it's like to be a police officer. So, at the Junior Deputy Camp hosted by Jasper County Sheriff's Department, he is learning about firearm safety and special weapons and tactics.
Oh, that was pretty cool. Like seeing all the gadgets and all the stuff they have, break into houses and save people.
The 4-day camp is designed to give kids an overview while keeping it fun and engaging.
No matter how old you are, ain't nobody likes to sit in a class and be bored by PowerPoint. So we try to keep it hands-on, actually learning and moving and doing stuff, seeing the stuff that they wouldn't normally see, being able to interact with the officers one-on-one, getting to see the dog actually work up close instead of just, as they're driving by and seeing a dog working and wondering what they're doing. They're getting to actually see how that dog works and why that dog works the way it does.
But ultimately, they want the kids to know there are humans behind the badge.
Law enforcement's not a bad thing. I just hope they realize that we are real people too. We just got a job to do like any other job. We have good days and bad days just like everybody else, and they just see that we're people.
With 1 day complete, Jacob Hoffman has hope for the next 3 days.
To learn a better understanding about the police force and how they do their job. They do it really well, so I'm just hoping to learn more about their job.
Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The main focus of the camp is to provide a fun way to show campers the police are people too. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, a popular yogurt snack is being pulled from shelves. The reason? A choking hazard that may be hiding in the toppings. And coming up, a push for equality with crash test dummies. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch, the Trump administration has announced it's placing a 17% tariff on most fresh Mexican tomatoes. Supporters of the move say it could boost domestic production, though critics say it's likely to lead to higher prices at the grocery store. According to the Florida Tomato Exchange, roughly $3 billion worth of tomatoes are exported from Mexico to the U.S. every year. Bitcoin blasted to a new record high Monday, passing $123,000 at one point. The surge kicked off what's being called Crypto Week in Congress, with the House set to vote on cryptocurrency-related legislation in the coming days. And Danone is recalling all flavors and sizes of its Yo Crunch products sold nationwide because the dome topper could contain plastic pieces. According to an FDA post, the pieces are small and transparent with sharp edges and could pose a choking hazard. The recall is confined to the dome topper. The separately packaged yogurt is not believed to be affected. Consumers are urged not to consume the product and to contact the company for refund details. Highway safety experts say women are more likely than men to suffer a serious injury or death in a car crash. But those crash test dummies used to test how vehicles perform in accidents are decades old and designed almost entirely around the male body. As Chris Van Cleve reports, a bipartisan group of female senators is pushing for equality.
College freshman Amanda Kish was driving home for the weekend from Central Michigan University in October 2022. She was rear-ended, sending her car out of control. The crash killed the 18-year-old.
My daughter should be here. I sent her to college, and she never came home.
Her mother, Frances.
She was 5 foot and 94 pounds, so I believe that if she might not have been sitting so close to the steering wheel, she might still be here.
Women make up more than half of U.S. drivers, but are 73% more likely to suffer serious injuries in a crash than men. They are 17% more likely to be killed. A gender gap with deadly consequences, Republican Senator Deb Fischer and Democrat Tammy Duckworth agree needs to close.
Whether driving or as passengers, we want to make sure that women are safe when they get in a vehicle.
We're taking the next step, and let's see if we can't remedy the situation.
And make it safer.
Yes.
Make it safer.
So that all those moms and daughters and sisters and best friends come home.
A bipartisan group of 4 women senators are sponsoring the She Drives Act to update federal crashworthiness tests by requiring the use of advanced test dummies that better reflect the driving public, including one simulating a 4'11", 108-pound woman.
Women hitting the dashboard at a different spot than men. Are we hitting a particular item in a car more often, and that's causing more injury? And that's where these crash test dummies that are, the size of the average woman will help us gather that data.
The current test dummies were developed in the 1990s and represent a 5'9" man weighing 171 pounds. The new Thor test dummy has been available since 2020 and is widely used internationally. Its manufacturer says it includes more than double the data gathering capability of older models.
So the rest of the world is using a smarter dummy than the U.S.?
Correct.
Humanetics CEO Chris O'Connor.
If this law passes, does that make vehicles safer in the long run?
Absolutely, it makes it safer, because right now we can't even detect these injuries in a crash test dummy because the sensors aren't there. And so you can't design a safer vehicle without knowing.
But some safety advocates, including the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, argue resources would be better focused on developing virtual tools to help researchers better understand the unique risks faced by different kinds of vehicle occupants.
Her voice. I miss her voice so much.
Frances Kish just hopes this new focus on women's auto safety will mean another mother won't feel her heartbreak. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Wyandotte, Michigan.
The Department of Transportation says Secretary Sean Duffy appreciates Congress's interest in resolving this issue and is committed to accelerating the process to improve safety for all Americans. Adding regulations are in the process of testing and evaluating updates to the new test dummies. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a nice looking sunrise out there. Again, temperatures today not too bad this morning. We are a bit warmer than normal, but it's that humidity. It is quite muggy. And we've got more fog and more thunderstorm chances. We're going to go over all those details with you when we come back.
Another round of tariffs could soon be placed on some of our top trading partners. Details in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Michelle Brook with today's Ag Day Minute. President Trump plans to levy tariffs of 30% against the European Union and Mexico starting August 1st. The president announcing it in letters he posted on his Truth Social site. In the letter to Mexico, he acknowledged the country's role in helping stem the flow of undocumented immigrants along with fentanyl, but said that the country hadn't done enough. To the EU, President Trump said the relationship has been, quote, far from reciprocal. The president said Monday he was open to discussions with the EU and other trading partners before those tariffs kick in. Kraft Heinz may be exploring a potential spin-off of some of its grocery business, which would include many Kraft products. A source saying this spin-off would create a new company that could be valued at as much as $20 billion. However, it's also reported the structure of the deal could change, and there's no guarantee it will even happen. The possible plan was first reported by the Wall Street Journal. And Walmart is recalling about 850,000 stainless steel water bottles. That's because the lid can, quote, forcefully eject and unexpectedly strike people. The recall covers Walmart's Ozark Trail 64-ounce stainless steel insulated water bottles. Walmart had received 3 reports of people being injured. 2 of those people suffered permanent vision loss. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on this station or get updates at agweb.com.
Now let's take it over to Chris for a full look at your forecast.
I found that entire recall intriguing. I mean, if you're staying hydrated during this heat we've got coming in, that is probably not the best way to do that. Glad they're recalling it. Hopefully you folks at home are getting it returned if you've got one, because that sounded pretty serious. I mean, that's an intense situation for a water bottle. We also have heat, and it's going to continue to get hotter. We are settling into July. We're starting to settle into those dog days of summer. We do have some fog again out there this morning. Grand Lake area, eastern Barry County, Stockton, Nevada, Iola, Yates Center, northern Elk County. So again, not as widespread as yesterday, but still low beams, not your high beams in those foggy areas. And do watch out for that potential for rapidly changing visibilities, because it can change on you in just a tenth of a mile, half of a mile, quarter of a mile even. So just keep an eye out there this morning. Once fog burns off, we're going to have a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. We're going to start to see those pop-up storms again from 11 a.m. through 7. Initially, maybe on the Missouri side, and then a little later this evening, could get a few that are going to be outside of that zone. Then we'll have mostly clear skies overnight tonight. We'll go back to partly cloudy tomorrow, and our southwest winds start picking up, gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour or so. Now, tomorrow is a two-pronged kind of situation. One, the heating of the day. We start to get pop-up storm chances once again across the entire area. And then later tomorrow night into Thursday, we get actual thunderstorm chances after about 9, 10 o'clock to our northern counties. And here comes that line from up north by 5 a.m. We've got it Yates Center stretching back almost to Nevada, kind of right along the 54 corridor and points north to by Thursday morning. It tries to sink south. It's expected to kind of reach a brick wall in a sense and start to fizzle out, leaving just a few remaining showers up north by the noon hour. But for those who don't get the rain, where it stops, all that moisture, all that energy is going to filter in ahead of that line. And if the line really does die out in the morning on Thursday, as it's expected to, that will lead to additional pop-up storms by Thursday afternoon and evening in our southern counties. But we could see a few more of them because there'll be just a little more energy for them to feed off of. And they could last a little later than most pop-up storms do, maybe through about, say, 9, 10 o'clock, simply because they will have enough energy to kind of sustain them because they were ahead of that line. Now, the storm chances into late Wednesday, early Thursday also come with a level 1 out of 5 risk. For our northern counties, they could still be a little on the strong side as they get closer, but again, are expected to kind of fizzle out the further south they go. Wind and hail, of course, the primary concern with any of those stronger storms. We are right on the southern edge of what is a greater severe risk well off to our north, so we'll keep an eye on that. We got our pop-up storms today and again some scattered storms Thursday. It'll be that mix between the morning ones that are dying and the ones in the evening that will flare up because of the ones that died in the morning. All right, fog lasting through about, say, 8 a.m. like we saw yesterday, mid-70s to start, low 80s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today going right about 90. Heat index values today could approach 100. Tomorrow, low to mid-90s, and that could put our heat index values, our first time here for a while, in the 100 to 105 degree range. We talked about it yesterday. We're starting to see that as a possibility. Staying hot. Will be more pop-up storms Sunday and next Thursday, and temperatures climbing. Look at that, low to mid-90s out there, so do make sure you're staying hydrated. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with a check of sports.
Thanks, Chris. Today in sports, Missouri Southern hosts a basketball camp for youth at Robert Ellis Young Gymnasium this week. The two-day camp is designed for kids between the ages of kindergarten and 8th grade. The focus is to improve campers' basketball fundamentals and develop a love for the game. For the coaches and players, it is all about giving back and being a role model for the younger generation.
Well, that's the most important thing, especially with kids this age. They need to fall in love with the game of basketball. The main goal of our camp is to get them to come back next year because they had a blast. And we always talk about being a great teammate. We always talk about always improving and learning from your mistakes and then giving your absolute best effort. When you can do those 5 things, you're going to have a great day, and we had a great day today.
I remember being a kid, being in their shoes and looking up to guys like us, you know, that play college basketball and do things that I aspire to do one day. So I know how important it is to these kids, so it means a lot to us too. I know how important a coach can be, or even just a mentor in basketball, just telling you how to have fun with it, not to take it too serious, because at the end of the day, it is a kid's game.
At Truist Park last night, the Home Run Derby crowns a new champion. The Major League leader in home runs, Cal Raleigh, takes down Junior Camarino with 18 homers in the final round and 54 overall. An amazing performance from Raleigh, as his teammates call him, the Big Dumper. The All-Star catcher is on pace for 64 home runs this season, which would set an American League record. But over in the Mink League Sunday, the Clarindas stole a win from the Griffins with a 4-run 9th inning. With Sunday's loss, Nevada is tied for last place in the league, and they'll remain at the bottom for another day. The A's shut out Nevada's 8-0 for the Griffins' 8th loss in a row. They've got a doubleheader with the Mustangs today, where they'll try to put an end to that streak. That's a look at some of your top sports headlines. We'll be right back. Lionel Messi delivered another brilliant performance for Inter Miami, scoring 2 goals in a 2-1 win over Columbus Crew. It marked his 5th straight MLS game with a 2-goal performance. His first came off a clinical free kick, and the second after stealing the ball from Crew goalkeeper Oscar Ustari, then faking a defender to finish. Miami held on for the win, extending their unbeaten streak. Liverpool FC is retiring the number 20 in honor of Diego Jota after his death in a car crash last week in Spain. The club says the decision was made in consultation with Jota's family, and the number will no longer be used at any level, including the women and academy teams. Jota and his brother died in the July 3rd crash in northwestern Spain. Fans have created a memorial outside Anfield with flowers, messages, and a wall marked Forever 20.
We've got our opportunity for another round of pop-up storms today. We've got some clouds out there this morning. We've got this mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. You can see how that looks from 7th and Range Line. Mid-70s, fog continuing probably through about 8 o'clock like what we saw yesterday. Low 80s by 11 o'clock, and again from 11 to 7, those pop-up storm chances out there. Our highs today eventually reaching about 90. That's going to put our heat index values today approaching 100 degrees. We'll have southwest breeze 5 to 10. And again, with the pop-up storms, not everybody necessarily will see rain. Into the evening we go, still pretty warm. Storm chances begin to wrap up. Mostly clear by 10, still near 80. Just a few clouds overnight into the low 70s. Then tomorrow, southwest winds pick up, start gusting upwards of 20. Temperatures increase, low to mid 90s, putting our heat index values potentially at 100 to 105 tomorrow. So make sure you're staying hydrated out there. Then what we'll have is pop-up storms by the afternoon, and then scattered thunderstorms from late Wednesday into Thursday. A couple of strong storms possible in our northern counties, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. And then we'll have a few evening storms in our southern counties by Thursday, and temperatures climbing low to mid 90s into the weekend. That's checking your forecast. We are back with more right after this.